Welcome to Framework, the podcast that makes the NIST cybersecurity framework practical, engaging, and accessible. Whether you're a cybersecurity professional, business leader, or simply curious about how organizations defend against cyber threats, this series is for you. This podcast is inspired by a comprehensive guide to the NIST Cybersecurity Framework 2.0, a best-selling resource written by cybersecurity expert Dr. Jason Edwards and trusted by professionals worldwide. In each episode, we'll leverage a few insights from Jason's extensive book to dive deep into CSF 2.0, unpacking every function, category, and subcategory with real-world applications you can immediately use. If you're enjoying this episode and want to learn more, head over to cyberauthor.me to grab your copy of the book and access additional resources to enhance your cybersecurity journey. You can also visit baremetalcyber.com, where over 2 million people last year explored expert insights, articles, and practical tools across a wide range of cybersecurity topics. PR.IR-04 incident response plans are maintained and improved. PR.IR-04 ensures that organizations continuously maintain and refine their incident response plans to keep pace with evolving cyber threats, regulatory requirements, and business needs. This subcategory belongs to the Respond function within the National Institute of Standards and Technology's Cybersecurity Framework, version 2.0. Emphasizing that incident response is not a static process, organizations must regularly update, test, and refine their response plans based on lessons learned from past incidents, industry best practices, and emerging threats. Without ongoing improvement, incident response efforts may become outdated, reducing an organization's ability to detect, contain, and recover from cybersecurity incidents efficiently. Maintaining and improving incident response plans ensures that response efforts remain effective, coordinated, and aligned with evolving threats and business risks. Cybersecurity incidents constantly change in complexity and impact, requiring organizations to adjust their response strategies accordingly. For example, ransomware attacks have evolved, now targeting cloud environments and backup systems, requiring updated containment and recovery protocols. Without continuous refinement, organizations may find that previously effective response strategies no longer work, leading to delays in incident containment and increased operational disruptions. A structured approach to incident response plan maintenance provides several key advantages. First, it ensures that organizations can identify and address weaknesses in their response strategies before a major incident occurs. Second, it helps organizations comply with regulatory and industry-specific cybersecurity standards, many of which require organizations to regularly update and test incident response capabilities. Third, continuous improvement enhances operational resilience, ensuring that response teams can quickly adapt to new and emerging cyber threats. By integrating incident response plan maintenance into ongoing cybersecurity governance, organizations can sustain effective, repeatable, and well-coordinated response efforts. Multiple stakeholders contribute to the maintenance and improvement of incident response plans. Security teams and IT administrators are responsible for updating technical response protocols, detection tools, and containment strategies to address new attack techniques. Legal and compliance teams ensure that response plans align with regulatory requirements and breach notification laws, reducing legal exposure. Executive leadership and risk management teams provide oversight, ensuring that response improvements align with business continuity and risk tolerance levels. External partners such as forensic investigators and industry threat intelligence groups contribute expertise by identifying emerging attack patterns and recommending security enhancements. Incident response plans are maintained and improved through regular testing, stakeholder feedback, and analysis of past incidents. Organizations must conduct periodic reviews of their response frameworks, ensuring that strategies remain effective and adaptable. These reviews should integrate lessons learned from security events, ensuring that response improvements address gaps in detection, containment, and communication. Updating incident response plans is a proactive measure that ensures organizations are prepared to handle both known and emerging cyber threats. Several key terms define the core aspects of incident response plan maintenance and improvement. Tabletop exercises refer to discussion-based simulations, where key stakeholders test their response actions in a controlled environment, helping to identify weaknesses in existing plans. Root cause analysis is the process of investigating the underlying factors that contributed to a cybersecurity incident, helping organizations develop corrective actions to prevent recurrence. Post-incident reports document how an incident was detected, contained, and resolved, providing valuable insights into areas for improvement. Change management ensures that updates to incident response plans are implemented systematically, communicated effectively, and integrated into organizational workflows. Continuous monitoring involves tracking cyber threats, security controls, and response effectiveness to ensure that response plans remain aligned with current risk conditions. Challenges in maintaining and improving incident response plans often arise due to resource constraints, lack of executive support, and failure to integrate lessons learned into future response efforts. One common issue is infrequent plan updates, where organizations develop response plans but fail to revise them regularly to reflect new threats, regulatory changes, or business process adjustments. Another challenge is lack of post-incident analysis, where organizations respond to cyber events but do not document, assess, or implement changes based on past security incidents. A final challenge is limited stakeholder involvement, where response plan updates are handled only by cybersecurity teams without input from legal, executive, and operational departments, leading to gaps in coordination and execution. Maintaining and improving incident response plans ensures that organizations remain proactive, resilient, and adaptable in the face of evolving cyber threats. Without a structured improvement process, organizations risk operational inefficiencies, prolonged recovery times, and compliance violations. By continuously refining incident response plans, businesses strengthen their ability to minimize security risks, maintain regulatory alignment, and enhance their overall cybersecurity posture. Organizations that fail to maintain and improve their incident response plans face serious risks, including inadequate response capabilities, increased financial losses, and regulatory noncompliance. If response plans are outdated or untested, security teams may struggle to contain cyber threats, leading to longer recovery times and greater operational impact. Without a structured approach to updating response strategies, organizations risk repeating past mistakes, leaving vulnerabilities unaddressed. Additionally, failing to align incident response plans with evolving regulatory requirements can lead to legal penalties, audit findings, and reputational damage due to non-compliance with industry-specific breach notification rules. In contrast, organizations that actively maintain and improve their incident response plans experience significant advantages, including faster containment of threats, reduced downtime, and enhanced coordination among response teams. Regular updates ensure that security teams, legal advisors, and executive leadership are aligned, allowing for more effective decision-making during cybersecurity incidents. Continuous improvement also strengthens compliance with regulatory frameworks, reducing the risk of fines and legal repercussions. Well-maintained response plans improve incident detection and mitigation, enabling organizations to reduce financial losses, maintain customer trust, and minimize disruption to business operations. At the partial tier, organizations have minimal or outdated incident response plan maintenance processes. Response plans may exist, but they are rarely updated, tested, or aligned with current threats. Security teams may react to incidents on a case-by-case basis, without a structured framework for reviewing and improving response capabilities. A small business at this level may have a basic response plan stored in a document, but without scheduled reviews or structured update processes, it remains ineffective when a real incident occurs. At the risk-informed tier, organizations recognize the need to review and update incident response plans periodically, but improvements are inconsistent or reactive. Security teams may update response plans following major incidents, but without a structured review schedule, updates may be delayed or incomplete. A mid-sized company at this level might conduct annual incident response plan reviews, but lack the resources to conduct frequent testing or integrate lessons learned from smaller incidents into future response efforts. At the repeatable tier, organizations establish structured maintenance schedules and formal review processes for incident response plans. Updates occur at predefined intervals, following industry threat intelligence reports, security incidents, and regulatory changes. A financial institution at this level may conduct quarterly tabletop exercises post-incident reviews, and technical response simulations to ensure that its incident response plans remain current, effective, and aligned with evolving threats. At the adaptive tier, organizations integrate continuous improvement methodologies and automation into incident response plan maintenance. Incident response playbooks are dynamically updated based on real-time threat intelligence, forensic findings, and cybersecurity advancements. Security teams leverage artificial intelligence and machine learning-driven analytics to predict attack trends and automate response plan adjustments. A multinational technology firm at this stage may employ automated breach simulations, real-time threat monitoring, and global threat intelligence sharing, ensuring that response plans evolve continuously and proactively. Incident response plan maintenance aligns with multiple controls in the National Institute of Standards and Technology Special Publication 800-53, ensuring that organizations follow structured and effective response strategies. One critical control is IR-8, Incident Response Plan, which requires organizations to develop, maintain, and continuously improve their response plans. A healthcare provider implementing this control may establish a formal process for updating its response plan following security incidents, compliance audits, and regulatory changes, ensuring that all response efforts remain current and effective. Another key control is PR.IR-06, Security Function Improvements, which mandates that organizations integrate lessons learned from past incidents into security planning. This control ensures that incident response improvements are not isolated events, but part of a structured, organization-wide effort. A financial institution implementing this control may conduct post-incident forensic reviews, analyzing attack patterns and modifying its response strategies to mitigate similar threats in the future. Incident response plan maintenance also aligns with AU-16, cross-organizational coordination, which emphasizes the need for organizations to work collaboratively across departments and with external stakeholders to refine incident response strategies. This control ensures that updates to response plans incorporate input from security teams, legal advisors, executive leadership, and external cybersecurity partners, improving the organization's ability to respond effectively to evolving threats. A technology firm implementing this control may participate in industry-wide threat intelligence sharing, ensuring that its response plans remain aligned with the latest attack trends and regulatory changes. These controls can be adapted based on organizational size, industry requirements, and cybersecurity maturity. A small business may implement a simple but structured incident response plan review process, ensuring that key personnel periodically update response procedures based on past incidents and industry best practices. A large enterprise may establish a dedicated incident response governance team, responsible for continuously monitoring the effectiveness of response plans, integrating real-time threat intelligence, and ensuring alignment with compliance requirements. Organizations operating in highly regulated industries, such as finance and healthcare, may implement automated response testing and plan revision processes, ensuring that updates occur in real time based on security monitoring and regulatory changes. Auditors assess an organization's incident response plan maintenance by reviewing whether structured review processes, documented updates, and continuous improvement efforts are in place. They evaluate whether organizations conduct periodic plan reviews, integrate post-incident findings into their response strategies, and ensure that response teams receive regular training on updated procedures. If an organization lacks structured maintenance processes, auditors may issue findings indicating deficiencies in response readiness, outdated procedures, or lack of alignment with regulatory requirements, increasing compliance risks. To verify that incident response plan maintenance is effective, auditors seek specific types of evidence. Incident response plan revision logs and policy update records demonstrate that organizations actively review and update their response frameworks. Post-incident reports and forensic analysis summaries provide insights into how organizations incorporate lessons learned from past security events to refine response strategies. Incident response training and exercise records demonstrate that response teams regularly test updated procedures, ensuring that employees remain prepared for new and emerging threats. A scenario illustrating compliance success might involve a retail company that undergoes an audit and provides documented evidence that its incident response plan is reviewed quarterly, updated based on past incidents, and tested through simulated security exercises. Auditors confirm that security teams, legal advisors, and executive leadership participate in structured improvement efforts, ensuring that response strategies remain aligned with business objectives and evolving cyber risks. In contrast, an organization that fails to document plan updates, conduct regular reviews, or integrate lessons from past incidents may receive findings indicating inadequate response plan maintenance, exposing the business to increased operational, financial, and regulatory risks. Organizations face multiple barriers in maintaining and improving incident response plans, including resource constraints, lack of executive prioritization, and insufficient testing frequency. One major challenge is limited funding and personnel, where organizations struggle to allocate dedicated resources for continuous response plan improvements, leading to outdated and ineffective procedures. Another challenge is failure to conduct regular response drills, where organizations develop response plans but do not validate them through real-world testing, increasing the risk of procedural gaps and misalignment with evolving threats. A final challenge is lack of cross-functional collaboration, where security teams update response procedures in isolation without incorporating input from legal, business continuity, or compliance teams, reducing the effectiveness of incident handling. Organizations can overcome these barriers by establishing structured incident response governance teams, integrating automated response validation tools, and embedding continuous improvement into cybersecurity workflows. Investing in incident response simulation platforms allows organizations to test and refine response procedures in real time, ensuring that response plans remain aligned with actual threat conditions and evolving business needs. Establishing formalized response review cycles involving security, compliance, and executive leadership ensures that updates reflect regulatory changes, industry best practices, and lessons learned from security events. By embedding continuous maintenance and improvement into cybersecurity risk management strategies, organizations can ensure that their incident response plans remain effective, adaptive, and resilient against modern cyber threats. That wraps up today's discussion on Framework. Don't stop here. Head over to cyberauthor.me to explore more cybersecurity topics and discover a best-selling book covering NIST and other critical cyber frameworks. Please like, rate, and review this episode on Apple and Spotify. Until next time, remember that knowledge is power.